I don't think anyone envisaged this visit going as smoothly as it has today and yesterday. You'd grant him that, Michael, would you?
Yeah, well, the visit from a year ago was so catastrophic that they have spent, I understand, an enormous amount of time trying to get Donald Trump to behave himself on this visit. So
you think it just went better than it could have done because of last year?
Well, last year was the model for them not to repeat. Yeah, you know, everybody is always holding their breath. Nobody knows what's going to happen when Donald Trump does anything, which is the sort of the premise. What's the premise of the book that I've written, the second book I've written about this administration, but the premise of how everyone treats Donald Trump. You cannot for a second pretend that you know what's going to happen.
His visit.
And so, actually, curiously, when he behaves himself, that's almost more shocking than the usual catastrophes that follow him.
Yeah, I think you're right, because his visit, perhaps a bit like your book, only has the power to shock once. I mean, The Siege, when I was reading it, feels like Steve Bannon's book. It has him at its soul. It reads a bit like you've been played, Michael.
Well, I don't know what that means. Steve Bannon is a figure, a character throughout the book, because I certainly in my experience, he is the one person who has understood Donald Trump at every step of the way, understood him well enough to get him elected, and understood all of his failings, and in fact, understood him to the point where he believes that he will not be reelected.
Right. Well, so Steve Bannon could have written the book. I mean, you describe him in the acknowledgement as your Virgil guiding you on a descent into Trump world. Why on earth would you choose an embittered ex-employee as your primary source?
Well, I just said that because the truth is he may be all of that. As a matter of fact, I believe that Steve's conflicted relationship with Donald Trump has actually produced incredible insights on his part into who this man is. Steve loves Donald Trump, can't stand Donald Trump. Steve wants to be with Donald Trump, is repulsed by Donald Trump. And by the way, it goes the other way too. So these two men are in this remarkable codependent relationship. I mean, this is one of the really, and this is why I focused on it, one of the really extraordinary political stories and political relationships of our time.
Except a lot of people get dragged into that rather dark web. You make insinuations about Trump's affairs, about sexual misconduct. You talk about Trump telling multiple confidants.
I don't really make insinuations. I mean, I'm fairly clear in what I say, and in terms of affairs, the insinuations I make is that Donald Trump did not have an affair. Well, he just bragged about it.
Okay.
So remember, the whole point of
you
this
drag a woman's name
book
through the mud.
Is to
you drag a woman's name through the mud. I'm not going to do that, but you say a high-profile woman had given him, in your words, a blowjob. It was a species of his famous locker room talk.
No, that's not what I said. No,
he told multiple confidants that right. He had told multiple confidants.
I said that he said that.
Right.
Okay, let me tell you why that's important information. Because when a president of the United States, when his default at all times is to demean women, that is important information. People need to know that.
Okay, so why would you...
I'm the person who say it because other people won't say this.
Right, so she has denied it, and you know that he's a pathological liar, so why repeat it with her name?
You're missing... Because that is precisely the point. He is a pathological, well, I'm not sure he's a liar, pathological liar in this situation. He's a bragger. The fact that the brag is probably not true goes to the deeper fact of his own weird psychopathology here. But if the president of the United States is making sexual insinuations
You're
about
repeating them.
one of the senior women in his administration. That is information that people need to know.
OK, I'm going to quote you Michelle Obama. When she spoke at the convention in 2016, her rallying cry was, "When they go low, we go higher." Now, that is out the window. With this kind of writing, you're on the floor. You're trying to go even lower than President Trump.
No. Listen. First thing, I'm not a politician. I am a writer. What I am trying to do, what my job is to do, is to create this world so people can come close to experiencing it as it is. That's what people, need to do, and that's what people, the incredible hunger out there is, what happens here? Who is this guy? What is going on? And I would argue that I'm bringing everybody closer to that than anyone else is doing.
Michael Wolff, thank you for explaining that to us. Thank you.